part history, part research project, part celebration of an influential figure in early American fly fishing. All of that is in the book that we're talking about today on Casting Across. Hi, I'm Matthew of castingacross.com, where I explore the quarry and culture of fly fishing. Over the 30-plus fly fishing book review videos I put out, one of the books that I was most excited to share with my audience was Steve Woit's Fly Fishing Treasures, the world of fly fishers and collecting. This is a spectacular volume that anyone who is a fan of fly fishing history or fly fishing tackle through the years certainly needs to pick up. It's beautifully photographed and put together, and it is a must-have for your bookshelf. But there is a newer book by Steve Woit that I was able to pick up this summer at the American Museum of Fly Fishing's Summer Festival. It's held there on the grounds of the museum right next to the Orvis flagship store. It's an absolutely beautiful setting, the kind of thing that if you're anywhere remotely near, you should definitely check out if you are interested. And the book that Steve was sharing this summer is brand new, 2025's Mary Orvis Marbury, A Life in Flies. Now, before we get to the book, you may not be acquainted with Mary Orvis Marbury. There's a very good chance that you have a strong inclination of how she is attached to fly fishing, and you are spot on. She is Charles Orvis's eldest daughter, and she was involved not just in the business, not just in the family activities, but in fly fishing, specifically fly tying. One of the amazing things about American fly fishing is the remarkable number of women contributors to fly tying and the selling of flies at the turn of the century, and Mary was certainly one of those figures. So what does this book do? Well, it starts off giving a brief biography and history of the Orvis family, the Orvis Company, and Mary Orvis Marbury herself. It then moves into talking about two influential books. The first one is Charles Orvis's Fishing with a Fly, and it gives you some of the plates, the photographs, and the pictures that were in that book. And then it moves on to an even more notable and even a more popular book, Mary Orvis Marbury's Favorite Flies. It's a book that you can easily find today and is still in publication, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's where a lot of these pictures come from. It then moves into a very, very intriguing section. It shows off pictures that have really never been printed in this format before. And these are plates, frames, from a display that was taken to the Columbian Exposition, the World's Fair, at the end of the 19th century. Now, because there's so much content here, Steve Woit actually attaches to this book an accompanying volume. You get them together, and it is a breakdown of every fly, every picture that you see. He goes at length to give you an explanation of everything that you're looking at and all of these plates that were sent halfway across the country for folks to get a picture of what life and fly fishing was like in New England. From there, the book goes on to talk about something called gaudy flies. What are gaudy flies? Well, if you look at my fly tying desk, you can see some lowercase g gaudy flies, but the formal designation are these kind of larger wet flies. Any picture of early 20th century fly fishing inevitably shows you some of these big wet flies that almost fish like streamers, were used for trout but also for warm water species. And they're a kind of fly that Mary would tie. And so actually what Steve puts in here is step-by-step instructions on how to tie these very, very interesting and historic flies. And then the book closes out with some really cool plates. These are frames of flies that were used in the Orvis catalog, showing alphabetically all the different flies that they were offering, kind of in a make-to-order fly fishing catalog, especially at the beginning. These flies were flies that they developed, flies that were imported from England, flies that they acquired from other tyers around the country, and then made their own and then sold as they became such a significant name in fly fishing here in the United States. So again, I heartily commend this book to you if you are a student of fly fishing history, if you are a fly tyer, if you are interested in the Orvis Company, if you're interested in the contributions of female anglers here in the United States. It is beautifully put together. It is an absolute joy to look at. Calling it a coffee table book isn't doing it justice, because it is spectacular both in quality and in quantity. It is a true work that is worth appreciating, worth owning. And so I have nothing but respect for Steve Woit and the great work that he is doing. In fact, if you want this book, you have to get it from Steve. You go to his website, Fly Fishing Treasures. I'll put a link down in the show notes for this YouTube video, and you'll be able to get it directly from him. He also makes his way to many events in the Northeast, and so if you are around, definitely see if he has a booth, and you can pick one of these up or one of these up directly from him. But if this is the kind of thing that you're interested in, you should head over to castingacross.com, where there's 3 posts a week on the people, places, and things that go into the pursuit of fish.